Tommy,
Whoa.
wake up.
Okay.
We're doing a podcast.
Sorry, I had to send a text to somebody.
All right. Cool. Man, crazy week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a roller coaster of a week.
It's been a roller coaster, man. Oh, my God. It's been really bad and really good.
I had my favorite points, though. I had my favorite parts of the week. There were some good parts of the week.
Yeah. We needed some of those. So there was some frustration this week.
Yeah.
In the world of
especially
Cadets,
here in the
toys, and
shop.
comics. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the big one was our delay in comic books.
Uh-huh.
The other one was, it was just a slow week.
It was. Can I say something? Diamond, you suck. You were bad at everything. You were bad before this week, but you were really bad this week. And you're hurting us. You're killing us. Our people want their books. That's all they care about. They
lock
just
it up,
want
Diamond.
their books.
Lock it up.
Lock it up. They're
Lock
not
it
gonna
up,
lock
Diamond. So
They've locked up failure. They're
everybody send a little note to Diamond to say, lock it up.
lock it
Hashtag lock it up, Diamond.
Anyway, what's up, son?
What's up, son? Thank y'all for tuning in. It's another week here in the shop, inside the shop. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that little notification bell. Give us a follow. Give us a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys so we can know what's on your minds and we can share that on the podcast.
Yeah, we like your comments. I saw we had about 50 views or something like that, and just a couple of comments.
We need get some shares.
Yeah,
get some more viewers. We're trying to get some conversation going. Really had some good conversations about the comic industry, where that's going.
We did.
We, I had a lot of epiphanies this week, I think. On top of this, you were frustrated and I was having epiphanies. So
You had a couple of epiphanies.
Yeah. I mean, my first one was, I just think comic books were more fun in the 60s and 70s.
You were so right.
I think the artists and the writers were just like, you know what, man, let's just have some fun with this. Now I think there's a lot of rock stars out there, and I don't know I don't know. I don't want to say as I'm getting older and I just don't enjoy it because I wasn't around in the 60s, and really I don't remember 70s comics.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Just looking at the covers on some of these comics, I just feel like they were just more fun, And I think that the industry as a whole, so I am talking to people out there who are creators, because I'm a creator. I've written a comic book.
Yep.
And maybe I'm not published, but that doesn't mean I'm any less creative. I think we need to shift in focus to our readers. And as a comic retailer, I see this because the majority of people that walk in here to buy comic books are in their 40s, 50s, or older, Yeah. And we're getting a few college kids in here. Mm-hmm. We've got a few young
readers,
a few young readers, but they're not old enough. But the thing is, they go to the wall over here, and there's not much I feel comfortable handing them.
Right.
It's like, you probably shouldn't read that. Ask your mom. Ask your dad. And it's like one of our biggest customers comes in here with his kid, and he won't let her read certain books.
Right.
And rightly so.
And we have to look out for that.
And we have to monitor that. And sometimes it's hard. Especially when it comes to manga.
Yeah, and it's not like they're just putting it big and bold on here either. You got to really look to see. And sometimes it doesn't even say what age group it's for. So you have to thumb through the book.
You got to look through it.
Yeah.
You got to give it a look. We had that.
There's some sneaky
like
stuff.
Like that one customer that came in and picked up Gun
Honey.
Little, woo.
Yeah.
Don't bring that up. Don't bring that picture up. We don't need that.
Yeah.
No, but my epiphany was that was one. I do think I think we need to go back to having some fun, especially with DC books. It's like everybody wants to write a dark comic book.
It's so dark.
Like, have we not been doing that since like Frank Miller came out with Dark Knight Returns? I mean, let's do something different.
Yeah, let's have some camp.
Have some more camp. I'm ready for some camp. Let's have fun with comics again. I think we need to get away from like.
Or give it a lane,
Give it a lane. Give it a lane.
There's 10 Batman comics out right now.
But I think
anyway.
the intention, and I think DC attempted this, and maybe it just didn't work. I don't know. I don't know what they're in. I don't know where it fell short. We could go talk all day probably where that went, but they did try to do the DC Zoom, and there was there was another one for the young adults, and they are putting out books for young adults. We've got several of them here. They do some kids books. The Scooby-Doo books are coming out. The Batman, I think the animated adventures are pretty okay but they're not little kid friendly. We do try to we have a lot of little of kids comics, even if we don't sell them, because we want to have that option.
Yeah, Harley Quinn, the animated series looks like it's something for kids. It looks like a cartoon book. It is
pretty adult content in there.
It's solely adult content.
And
Yeah, I have to tell every parent
the reason
that comes
I bring
in.
up this epiphany, this is my epiphany. You know, I did the fall meetup for Macaroni Kid Franklin.
Yes.
And I went there and I brought Chrono Cadets, which is a kid's book, for kids 6 to 13. And of course, I got there. There were 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, the little tykes, and I was like, okay, these kids are never going to pick up a comic book and read it. They like the pictures. There were some homeschool kids, I think, that I sold a few copies of Chrono Cadets, but it was, they liked the pictures on them, and then moms and dads could read them to the kids. But I got to thinking, about the shop itself. It's like these shops aren't geared towards little kids, and we want that vibe in here because
it was
like,
our vision setting into this.
You bring in a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, they're just going to come in here and make a mess. They're going to break something. They're going to go through the books and tear their pages. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's got to be a way to engage kids, because also they have these moms and dads that need something to do with them during the day.
Right.
I would love for them to come into the store and be exposed to the characters, be exposed to the genres, whether it's Ninja Turtles or Marvel comics or even the anime characters. I mean, a lot of kids are into Pokemon. We finally got some Pokemon cards.
Finally.
But my point is like, you do have a lot of parents who are bringing their kids in to the stores and trying to engage them in what they grew up and what they liked. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
But you're a dad. You've had that mentality, and how's that going?
Well, that's the thing. Well, a lot of us not being able to get that market and have something for them has been supply chain stuff. But when we set out to do this, that is exactly our vision. We want this to be like a land of fun for kids and for parents to come into. We set up things for people to draw. We have a diner booth. We have a lot of stuff that we just wanted to be a cool place to hang out and people to bring their kids, and the kids have as many toy options as their parents do and book options as their parents do, because we wanted it to be a fun land for kids and families, but also we wanted to bring them. We wanted to, for the big kids, but we wanted to bring, get exposure to these young kids to the comic culture, and because that's something that's a generation away from dying.
I don't think we're too far off. And I think the reason I say that is because we do have a lot of kids. They're riding their bikes up here. They're parking them outside the shop. They're coming in. They're looking at Pokemon cards, or they're picking up the books and
they were so excited today when they came in and saw those Pokemon cards. Oh my god, dude!
Yeah, you said
that's the stuff. Yeah,
he was like, "Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!" Yeah,
he really jumped up and down.
I think.
I told that kid 3 times.
I think there's gonna be a lot of kids in here after school.
I told that kid 3 times we're gonna have Pokemon cards on Sunday.
Yeah, so there's gonna be some.
He comes
kids
in here every day
after school
church.
On Tuesday. We'll probably have an army of kids. I
hope so. Or it'll get around.
Yeah,
but no, I think the key is to probably try to have some events here for young kids, just to, even if they come in here in color.
Yeah,
just something for moms to do. I'd like to find an artist to come in here and teach some art, little art.
Yeah,
classes.
we were talking about that. We're trying to figure out the space.
Of course, that's our biggest problem here at Cadets is we just don't have a ton of space.
Yeah.
We don't have an art room in the back because they get in here and they're gonna get bored within 10 minutes. They're gonna run over there and pull 16 Funkos off the shelf and damage them. It's like so you're kind of at. I get it. We have all these grandiose plans. But then we run into it. It's like anyway. But anyway, I had a good time with that thing. Made a few bucks.
Yeah,
got a lot of ideas. It was good to connect. I met a lot of little social media influencers that want to get the word out about Cadets, and even just from having an event, teed up some stuff for Free Comic Book Day next year.
Yeah, it could be a good community effort there.
It was definitely a fun. I mean, it's only a couple of hours, over there at the Spring Hill Garden Center, who are another local business who's rocking and rolling over there, trying to keep it,
Yeah, and that was and a lot of those people do some things that would be cool for us to do in the shop. So we're going to explore some of that stuff.
True story. There was there was 2 or 3 cookie vendors over there. All I could do was cookies. I was looking at cookies. And one lady was like, "I see you looking." I was like, "I got to stay away from the cookies."
Yeah.
That's like my kryptonite, man.
Yeah, your kryptonite's the sweets.
I love the sweets.
Can I show you something here real quick?
Show me.
So
what do you got?
We made a lot of comic buys this week. We got some collections. We got some man, we got more keys than a janitor's keychain this week, man. Dude, it was a good week. We got slabs. We got old ASM, old Marvel.
Yeah, we got Pokemon.
But to your point about the fun in the books. Now, it doesn't have to be this campy. This is Superman, 15-cent Superman. I don't know what the number is, but
is it rubbed off or something?
No, at the price tag.
Oh, the price tag's
on the
on
top of it. But it's Lois Lane right here, and she's saying, Red Kryptonite has turned Superman into a human King Kong, and now he's reliving the giant apes' last stand when Superman became King Kong.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
And they got like,
I mean,
instead
that's
of like the little
stupid.
biplanes, they've got like little like spider jets.
The Satanic Son of Superman, which looks like
Look at that perspective on that. Right
one
there.
of the Wonder
Look at that
Twins.
perspective. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great. Empire State
It's a
Building.
really cool cover.
Yeah, it's a great cover.
Which one's this?
This one's Superman, Son of Satan. This is where Superman is fighting the secret of the Phantom quarterback.
Look at this guy. He looks like Zan from the Wonder Twins.
From the Wonder Twins. That's what I was saying. His Satanic Son looks like the
Zan from the Wonder Twins.
The Wonder.
Is that what he comes from?
I don't
Not the
know.
idea.
Is that an origin story?
I don't know.
It may be a key.
It's not. It's only $5 book.
Yeah. This is where he fights a Phantom quarterback.
Well, who hasn't seen that scenario?
I mean,
played out?
the Phantom quarterback. Everybody knows him.
Yeah.
Found the February of 1976 edition
This is a
of
big one for Joey.
Amazing Spider-Man. I like finding my birth month and year of books I like.
Yeah, we found a Blondie.
Yeah, of your January. Yeah,
Yeah.
of you. Yeah, a Blondie comic. I've never even seen. I've always seen the comic strips in the Paducah
I've seen
Sun.
the comics before.
ASM
I knew
10.
they had comic books.
ASM 10. ASM, is that 45?
45.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were cool books.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's got the Enforcers on there.
Not making these anymore, man.
It's like Rocky and Muggsy from Looney Tunes.
Yeah. The Enforcers. Fun stuff. Fun
stuff.
on this, yeah.
Make it fun, people.
Make
it fun.
Yeah. They don't have to. Everybody's writing some dark something for movies or Netflix. So.
I think that, honestly, man, I do think that's probably one of the things that people do. They're really trying to get a show, which I get, man, because, I mean, let's be real. It's hard to make money as an artist if you're not getting some kind of creator
But it's not
credit.
special as it used to be, Tommy, because there's so many streaming services and they're looking for content.
I get it, man. But I do think I guess you could just say, man, it's like if you got to do it, we've lost a sense of doing it for the love, doing it for the art, doing it for the creativity. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's some of that. You really have to have somebody that.
But
that
you gotta be. It's not like the
came
same people that say, "Well, music's not as good as it was back in the '60s and '70s."
But did these people come from? I mean, they had to come from the culture. They're comic book writers and artists, or did they not? I mean, they know how it used to be.
They. I don't know, man.
But I'm not.
I think that's an assumption.
That's the thing. We don't. It doesn't have to be all like that. It doesn't need to be all like. It needs to be more fun, or at least have a lane of fun.
I'm gonna give you an example. When I was in college, I was in a band.
Yeah.
All right, and
you told me about that.
our drummer in our band actually played in, like, we were a country music band.
Okay.
Our drummer played in I guess it was an alternative grunge band.
Mm-hmm.
We were all friends, but some of us played that music, alternative music, and the rest of us played country music. But the drummer liked playing with us more because he said we always challenged ourselves with better songs songs.
Okay.
We always try and play something a little bit more upbeat or dynamic or whatever the case may be. The tempo was different. It gave him more of a challenge to play his part.
Yeah.
Where the alternative band, and they were good. They had better singers than we did, but there's a lot of power chords, it was a lot of, and so it was like, I don't know. My point is like, are you? I don't know. Are we just trying to churn this stuff out so fast? Are we trying to? Is it the formula different? Is there? I actually have lost where I was going with this, but my point is like, I think, people as creators, we're maybe not just challenging ourselves, because a lot of these guys want to stay in a lane and do just weird stuff. They don't want to draw ducks or simple people or just superheroes anymore.
Yeah.
No idea what that is.
Yeah, comic sales by month through the years.
I don't want to know.
Yeah. There's Diamond.
Old Diamond, bringing it in.
Yeah.
Not bringing it in.
Yeah. Diamond, we don't trust your
You get what I'm
numbers.
saying, though? You get what I'm saying?
Bugatti.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do know what you're saying.
I mean, artists really want to draw like really cool, crazy, characters. They want to flex.
Yeah.
They don't want to draw something simple.
They're rock stars.
And they're good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not dogging artists.
No,
I love it. Actually, I would have been a comic artist before I was a writer. If I had just stuck with it. I just gave up in college because I was playing basketball all the time.
Dude, yeah. I mean, there's writers and artists that I love. This, I haven't read this yet, this Human Target.
I didn't get into it.
Dude, the art looks so good.
The art is really good.
Man, and the premise sounds really good to me.
Yeah, but it's Tom King, and he's slow. I can't get into his writing.
I'm going to give it a try.
Give it a try. I liked.
Look at that cover.
Yeah, I like the characters he picked because it's like the old Justice League International, but it's and the variant cover on that, the Whodunit cover, it's pretty cool. But I like Newberg. What was it?
Who? What?
The Private Eye book.
Newbern. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that book a lot.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Not to be confused of the little town between Dyersburg and Union City, Tennessee.
There's a New Bern, Tennessee?
There's a New Bern, Tennessee.
Oh.
Absolutely. And guess what else? Diamond sucks.
Oh, okay.
Also, we got this week House of Secrets.
Little Neil Adams.
It's a little Neil Adams cover, man. I was really excited about
number
that.
88.
It's got horror. It's got one of my favorite artists.
It's actually pretty clean.
It is. Man, yeah, those pretty clean. Guys, come pick it up.
It's a great cover.
It's a great cover. We love a great cover, man.
I mean, how many comic books have you bought just because? I mean, who hasn't? Who hasn't done cover buys?
Like this at this con when I was thumbing through boxes, all those that crazy stuff, I was picking up some covers.
Oh yeah.
The infamous Superman Son of Kal-El. This was in one of those boxes, which I love the cover
It was only $1,
because it looks like
wasn't it?
Superman #1. But yeah, it was $2.
Oh, it's $2.
I don't know what it's worth now, but it's
don't
like
think
an infamous book.
I don't know.
I think it's like $10 or something.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's gone up. Maybe 15 or something. I don't know.
I've got a copy of this at home.
We've got all the whole run.
Did you not have a copy?
I did not have this one. I had the variant.
Nice.
Yeah, so I picked that up. A little homage to Super, but that is now an infamous or a famous.
Infamous.
Or yeah, look. So
What else you got?
Picked up Nightwing. That was just sitting in a $2 box. That's a $10, $12 book.
Yeah, I've got that book. We got a couple of those in the long boxes over there.
This one, Nick at Night, Nick Comic Culture had showed me this X-Men 245, but it's going to be hard. Oh, you got it. You're the man.
What is that?
So in here,
Got a Star Destroyer.
yes, it's got a Star Destroyer. It's got Boba Fett, Jabba the Hutt, just like some rando people, E.T.
No kidding.
Right there on like the second page. So I like little weird comic book buys too. So
Is that Bib Fortuna?
yes, this is the first appearance of a Star Destroyer in an X-Men comic book. So this is a key.
First, there's actually more than one.
No,
So the first and only.
it's a one and only.
Is it the first appearance
But
of?
I'm talking key collector speak here.
Oh.
Speaking the language, just man at arms there.
Where?
He's back to us. I'm just kidding. I don't know who that is.
Oh God,
That's
that's
the silver,
That's really cool though.
right?
I mean, it's not a great depiction of a Star Destroyer, but it is a Star. I mean, you recognize it.
Well, they didn't own the IP then, so
they couldn't make it. Exactly.
it was probably
But they clearly got Jabba the Hutt and Boba.
Parody-
I mean, a
parody
Mandalorian
art.
helmet on it.
yeah, definitely. It's
That wasn't
it's,
a Marvel.
It's
it
a
wasn't
likeness.
Marvel. It is a Marvel. Well, Marvel didn't own it back
They
then.
didn't own them back then. Yeah, and ASM 350.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
That's very nice.
Anyway, so, comic books.
No, the week was frustrating because slow and no comic books, but the end of the week kind of picked up really. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
I had fun at the fair, and then, we had to get that collection ready to go. And
Man, yeah. I took that home. Yeah, and doing work at home is difficult, sometimes. But I got about three-quarters of a box done there, and then finish it up at the shop. But man, I was finding a good Thor run. Good. I found those good ASMs in the box. Man, some good keys, baby.
And we had Saturday.
The Gallatin Comic Con
Was it
with
early?
Wally and the Beef.
Molly and the Bee.
That was a long day, but it was
they
fun.
did not look happy being there.
Well, can you imagine? So, the celebrity guest at this Comic Con was Jerry Mathers and Tony Dow, who were the Wally and the Beaver on Leave It to Beaver. And, they're in their 70s, maybe pushing 80. I don't know.
They're pushing 80.
Yeah. And so they were there with their spouses. But, it was just like anything else. You pay money to get an autograph and or a picture combo.
Dude,
but
they were charging. Beaver was charging $60 for a combo.
But when
that's pretty high, man. That's like. I mean, I've seen higher, but that's up there.
Yeah. That's like. Yeah, Tom Selleck.
I mean, I worked with Alan Richardson up in Lexicon, man. He wasn't charging that much.
Yeah. Well, so when you're that age, I'm just thinking, because like if you're on a show like that, I always say you got to get a lifetime scholarship to do stuff like that. You can sign autographs, you can do these things, charge money, but that life, long days at a con, traveling, hotels, to sign autographs and get ticks, $60, and 50 and $100 or whatever photo ops, and then you're just like, what's your name? Oh, you gonna take a picture? You can get up out your
but not everybody's like that. Not everybody.
But and maybe they like it. Maybe it's just a way that they can still travel and
come on, man.
Be good.
Debbie Dunning at Lexicon,
it has to be a drag sometimes.
I think there are more that go to those cons that have fun.
I hope so.
It allows them to stay relevant. It allows them to engage with people who appreciate them.
It should be said.
That's important.
It is
there
important.
Are some, though, that are like, man, I have one more city, one more. There are some like that.
But it should be noted that con started at 10 a.m. and that line to get autographs of them was solid and out the door for about 4 hours, I would say. 3 to 4 hours.
4 or 5 hours, actually.
Yeah.
I think it died down about 3.
See, longer than I thought, man. It
2:33.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they did all right.
They did all right that.
I mean,
fortunately, our booth was right next to the Beaver.
Yeah. So they were just they were just peeling off that and either going left or right.
So
we were.
I was actually kind of blown away, but when he said, "Yeah, we got Wally and the Beaver coming," I said, "What?"
I did too. I was just like,
"Who is this going to draw?" I think it was good for us in a couple of respects. One, there were a lot of comic vendors at this con.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't show up with we had a couple of comics. We had mostly Funko Pops.
Yeah, we were the Funko Pop guys this time.
Nobody else.
But we're trying to unload these.
But nobody else had Funko Pops. Also, I think with bringing in Wally the Beaver, that brings in a certain age demographic, and those people will go look for comic books, whereas we were pulling in all the younger crowds.
Well, what it does though is it gives them it brings a whole other demographic. There were a lot of people there that didn't care about comics at all that wouldn't have been there had Tony Dow.
Yeah.
So you get tickets at the door, and then
that's what celebrity guests are for.
Yeah. So it's not just So
there was that one booth next to us that didn't have things you would find in here.
The comic people are going to be there regardless.
Sure, but there were things. I think that's one thing he could have done. He could have diversified his booths a little better. Because that one next to us was like all those retro toys.
Yeah.
That was really like some neat stuff. Those bomber jackets and they had some really cool.
It was random and it was cool stuff.
Really cool stuff.
Some of that stuff would look good on the shelf.
It would, and probably better than those 10-inch Funko Pops that have been sitting up here since we opened the store.
Yeah.
About to do a fire sale on those. But honestly, my only problem about doing this, I don't know what we would replace it with. Maybe we should get some like statues or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
Put us a comment. Give us a comment. Tell us what we should put on the shelf. Anyway, yeah, we don't need more Grogu's though, because we got like enough Grogu's hanging out around here.
And you can't. And when you comment to tell us what we should put on the shelves, you can't say last week's books because
we know. That's a little hard. It's too soon.
Too soon. Gallatin Comic Con was great.
Good times. Always a good time to go to Gallatin.
Hey, Matt.
Matt, you back there?
You back there, buddy?
Yes.
Well, what books did you pick up at the con?
I got Strange Tales 138. That's the first Eternity. And I picked up Strange Tales 178, which is the first Adam Warlock as Magus. And then I worked on my Miss Marvel run, so I'm about 3 books short on that.
Oh, nice. That's good.
What you looking for on that Miss Marvel? Just let everybody know.
Miss Marvel 18, first appearance of Mystique, is the big key in the run. And
bring it on to the shop. We'll get you a good deal.
Yeah.
Out there, bring it. Matt's looking for 18.
Yep, 18. Something in a.
And we're also looking for a New Gods number 11.
Yes, come on, family, bring it in.
That's all that our boy Tom needs to complete his new guides run.
Yeah, so shout out to Matt and Nick back there behind the glass on the knobs and sliders, making this thing happen, making it go.
Yeah, man. Nick was
he held it down.
Nick
on
Jr.
Saturday.
was holding it down here with the young bloods.
Appreciate that.
Nick and the young bloods hanging out.
He's
here.
a little under the weather, so he was troopering through,
Got it
soldiering through that.
No COVID though.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, you got tested.
That's good.
All good.
Yep.
We had a good weekend though.
Yeah, man. We really we had 2 full shelves of these $5 pops, and we got half of those now. So there's still some remaining if anybody wants them. But man, we unloaded a lot of them.
We did.
So nice work on that one, Tommy. We've got
some Pokemon. Yeah.
We got Pokemon finally, man. Yeah, tell your friends, tell your family. We got Pokemon.
We actually got to.
We've
been in the store.
Chilling Rain, Fusion Strike,
Evolving
Skies, yeah. Full packs, full boxes.
Battle packs, battle boxes.
Yeah.
Booster packs
and battle boxes. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Anyway, one of the other things we did, you had mentioned we made some new friends.
Yes, you did, and I'm glad. Friends that close to me. I haven't made friends with them yet, so I'm glad you did.
We've been in their store, but I don't think I've ever seen those guys in the store. We always saw that one dude that.
Was it Chase? Was it the owner?
The guy I talked to was Chase. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I can't remember the other guy's name, but
he's a nice dude.
He's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Hooked us up with a few store exclusives, some that we were actually needing for some customers that we couldn't get.
Yeah.
And he threw out an invitation if we ever want to do some swaps or trades, or if we were short something, just to give him a call.
Yeah.
And we actually talked about having him on the podcast, so we may have him.
Oh, that'd be great.
Up on an upcoming episode.
I think he used to be a school teacher.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know that, but that'll be interesting to know. But
good to get his story.
He's got a great shop.
Well, that's before we had Cadets. That's where we would go.
That was the place.
We were there every Tuesday, Wednesday. When we go over on Wednesdays and pick up some books.
What we couldn't find at my LCS, we always went there. We should have been going there to begin with.
Yeah, they were. Oh, whatever.
Cool dudes.
Cool guys.
Yeah. So, man, I'm glad that you did some good work. I was kind of. You were calling me grumpy at the – well, the reason I was grumpy was because I saw somebody walk off with a pop. And I was, hey, were you going to pay for that? And he was like, I got this at another booth. And I was like, okay. Well, and if it was not a $5 pop, I'd but what am I going to do? Make a scene right there. So then I was just like putting the eye on everybody. And so it probably looked like I was mad, but I was just trying to
our booth was
control shrinkage.
Unbelievably, our booth was busy from the time we opened
so busy
till about 3:30. Yeah. I think we started packing up around 4.
Yeah, we couldn't. We couldn't all fit in there.
Yeah, it was pretty tight. We should have got 2 tables. Mm-hmm. We only got 1. We'll know next time.
Yeah.
We'll definitely.
Nobody bought a comic book. Not a one out of those long boxes.
Not in the long boxes, but we did sell one of those Batman Fortnite Foundation books.
Yeah, and a Chrono
Cadets. Yeah. Those are the comics we sold.
Yeah.
That's all we should have brought.
That's a fun show.
We should have left the comics here with Nick. He probably would have.
So which do you like better? Do you like going? Because the first time I went to that place and I was setting up, I got there real early, and man, it looked like the ambiance was just like it looked like a wedding reception place because it had like
it is.
Yeah, it was like it had like the barn wood and all that stuff, and then it had like the twinkly lights strung everywhere.
The rural wedding reception.
Yeah, and
rustic.
I'm like, I don't know about this, but it's actually a really good place to have a con.
It worked out good because I think it's the biggest place in Gallatin to have an event. I've done the in-store shows, and they're always kind of crowded. And it's in the back, and there's no windows, and I don't like that. When we did that one,
and they're not as well attended.
The one we did the first time was really fun.
That was fun.
I did enjoy the vibe from when they had their little festival
from the downtown thing that was going on while the show was going on.
I would have rather been out on the street.
Yeah, for sure.
If that ever happens again, I would love to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if the weather is good,
Spring Hill is I wish we had a downtown. That would be really cool.
Yeah, me too, man. Because
that's where the shop would be in
Spring Hill. Can you just build one?
They're actually talking about it.
Just do it.
There's word on the street. They're talking about building something like a mixed use.
Just be a little. What do you call it? Pinewood forest?
Trilith.
Or what? Yeah, Trilith. What?
It used to be Pinewood forest.
Yeah. Okay.
But they got like a little main street.
Yeah, they're
talking about
made.
I think they're talking about something like that where the old children's home is, the boys' home.
Oh, okay.
You know, down.
There's still
down
an orphanage here, right?
They got a new campus.
Okay. So we need to give our books to them.
Yeah. They got a new campus out here on Spring Hill, out here in the hills over here. I can't remember the name of the road, but I think they're selling stuff off, and then they're trying to maybe save one of the buildings because it's historical, maybe not, but from my understanding, they're going to turn that whole campus area into this sort of mixed-use development.
Okay.
And
well, don't make it too like
they will
some character. It needs some character.
It's
not going to have character.
No, nobody cares around here.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we have 2-lane roads going all the way through this town.
Come on, Spring Hill. We love you. Come on.
Yeah. We do. We've enjoyed it. Gotten to meet a lot of cool people like Matt and Nick.
Yeah, we love the people here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so good weekend yesterday. Pretty tired. Stayed at home today. You ran the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Joey did the tailgate.
Yeah, the tailgate was not well attended.
Bust.
Man.
But the Titans won.
The Titans won?
Did they?
There was. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I kind of
1-2. There was free food. There was like hot dogs.
The hostess with the most.
Enchilada bite. Oh, yeah. Went all out and not a soul. Because I thought, hey, maybe it'd be fun. Just kind of throw it out there. We're gonna be grilling some dogs, have some little game time food. Come to get some books. We got the football game on. Blah blah blah. Nothing.
It's because it's probably because short notice.
Well, I know short notice, but it's not an event. I was just like, hey, we're gonna have some hot dogs and watching the game. Come on by, just to kind of give it a Sunday a little bit of a bump.
Ask Nick if you knew. Or Matt. Matt, do you know about the hot dogs?
Yeah, I did see it on Instagram.
What the heck, man? You didn't show up and get a dog? Wasn't in the mood, huh?
It's NFL, Red Zone. I got fantasy football teams that I got to concern myself with. Thank you very much.
Let's see what's going on. I couldn't even come over and get a free hot dog.
So what? Yeah. Okay.
We have Wi-Fi here, which we don't share with anybody because I can't remember the password.
You have to make another one.
I've tried.
Can you make 3?
I have tried.
Oh.
I can't get access to the router. I'm just going to just get rid of it and get another one.
Okay. Gallatin Comic Con. Fun. And
big shout out to Chris Dyer and Tammy for a great event. We had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys did great.
Yeah.
With the Diamond fiasco and Gallatin, it's like, man, what do we got coming up? I feel like we have something coming up. Maybe it's just me. I have a big meeting tomorrow. I have an actually interesting opportunity for another TV series.
Oh, sweet. That's good.
Which
CTR Studios.
Yeah. So I'm having a meeting tomorrow about that.
Who is the magic behind all this?
CTR Studios.
Yeah. CTR Studios.
So yeah, I've got a lot going on this week, but then holidays are rolling in.
Mm-hmm.
Week after next will be getting to look a lot like Christmas in here.
Yep.
Got some Rudolphs and.
Yeah, we're slowly phasing it in.
Yeah, well, you ought to ask for me to wait because I'll go all out. I like Christmas.
Yeah.
I like the vibe that Christmas puts off. I think that's one of the things I enjoyed when I was back at FAO Schwartz.
Mm-hmm.
I got to work there through a Christmas holiday once.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Was really cool.
Oh, I bet that's Christmas at maximum levels. Yeah.
Well, I worked
all the magic.
At that point I worked in the plush department, which was like when you first walked in, there's the big clock tower and
home of the $70 plushes.
And more than that, bro.
$570 plushes.
There were some $500 bears up there.
Yeah.
Some $5,000 bears up there. But I remember how packed it was. The revolving door never stopped revolving the entire time the store was open, the time I was working. So I remember having to wear earmuffs, a scarf.
In the shop.
They only gave us a sweatshirt that was like one of those cheap, thin sweatshirts that, like those jersey shirts that are like real thin.
Were you rocking a turtleneck?
Heck yeah, bro. And a scarf.
Nice.
Because it was just cold, man.
You looked like a Christmas card, I bet.
No. I had a ponytail back then.
Wait, what?
I never told you that?
No. Are there pictures?
Somewhere, yeah.
Oh, my God.
I grew my hair out to you're not going to find it on the internet. So it was long before digital. But I had hair down to here, man.
Well. Yeah. Man.
Somebody talking back there?
Probably. They're like, what?
Yeah, I had long hair, but so it was.
Say what?
yeah, I did.
Right, I'm with you guys.
But anyway, the vibe, man, was great because like I remember like leaving and there was right across from the Plaza and Central Park, and then down the street to Rockefeller Center, and it's like the big Christmas tree. It was just really cool. Like it's kind of magical to be in New York at Christmas time, and everybody's holiday shopping back then, and
it's a Christmas mecca.
It was great, man. It was really cool, and I would love to create a vibe like that. That's why I want to do the mailbox thing. I actually talked about that at the fall meetup, and I think that's a great idea. We got to go build that. We got to
figure that out. Yeah,
I just think I wanted to do like an old school mailbox. I'm willing to throw some bones at it, but honestly, if it just gets us started this year, I'll just go to Home Depot and buy like a big green mailbox and then decorate the heck out of it. My only thing is, I'd like to leave it up. First. I'd like to leave it up at night, so that people could do it when we're drop off when we're closed. Mm-hmm. So here's my two things. One, I want to do that. Two, how are we gonna get the letters to Santa if any kids are listening? Yeah. Which we'll just drop them in the mail ourselves, I guess. But I just don't want somebody to come along and trying to steal that or break it in or something. Hopefully they won't.
Hopefully not.
But we got Fast
and
Furious out here tonight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's every Sunday night, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nope. I don't think anybody's even listening to what we're saying right now because everybody's thinking about you with a ponytail.
Really?
Yeah. Is that what you guys were thinking about back there? Because that's what I'm thinking about. Tommy with a ponytail. Did Toby have one?
I look like Lorenzo Lamas.
I am currently trying to find a picture.
Somebody actually told me that once ago. You look like Lorenzo Lamas.
I would take that.
And that was back when he was in, what was that show, Renegade?
Yeah.
That's when that show was like.
Did you wear a leather vest?
Heck no. I had a leather coat, though.
Well, yeah, it's fine.
But no, they was like, that was like, I guess at that time would have been a compliment.
It'd be a good look for you, man. No shirt, leather vest.
Not now.
Ponytail. Oh, yeah. Be good. I like it.
I had fun. I didn't even have like the scruff back then. That was all clean shaven. I could grow it back out, man, but it took me about 2 years to really get. Then I ended up cutting it because I took a job working at this little. It was sort of like an event club called Larabelle's, and it was basically a place where like, rich kids went in and had their, parties or bar mitzvahs or there were launch parties. Like Vibe magazine did a launch party there once.
Yeah, I remember.
Or
Vibe.
New Line Cinema had a rap party for the Fellowship of the Ring. I actually got a really cool T-shirt from that. Like we got to take home some stuff. Like give us champagne. And,
I bet you had those.
They gave us all kinds of stuff.
Legendary.
But the lady that was the manager of that place was like, the first time I went there, she's like, "You got to cut that hair." And I came in and like, I didn't see her the second time. The third time, she goes, "You didn't cut that hair. You got to cut that hair. You can't work here." I needed the job, so I had to cut my hair. That's why I cut it.
Yeah.
So and everybody at FAO was like, "Oh, what'd you do?" Samson cut off his power. I was like, "What does that mean?" That's cool, I guess. I don't know.
Did it feel good to cut it off?
I was a little nervous about it.
Were you?
Yeah.
Wow. How long did you have it?
I told you it was like down to here.
No, I mean, how long?
Oh, did you about a year or so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well. So,
but my mentor was like, "Finally, you cut that hair."
Okay.
Because he didn't think people would take me seriously.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Especially when I was trying to do so.
Like a stoner or a burnout or
just a dumb
kid,
which was what I was.
Yeah.
A dumb kid at the time.
Yeah. Well, it's good advice, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest, man. There's a lot of times in life I guess we could all say this.
Oh, yeah.
I got a lot of advice in life that I just completely let go one ear and out the other.
Yep.
Or just was like, I don't need to hear this.
Got to live and learn, man.
Just thought I knew better, and I didn't.
For generations and generations, it's been, the old other generation trying to tell their kids, hey, don't make the same mistakes. This is how you avoid this and this. And
so how do we take that and apply it to Diamond?
I don't know. They're writing the book.
Or the comic book publishers out there that need to start. If they don't start creating content for the kids, they're not going to have an audience.
Well, if you don't start, if you don't stop messing up and just being terrible, because when Diamond, I'm telling you, I'm looking at you. When you blow this image account, when they leave you, we're all gone, man. I mean, you're
man,
going to be selling Funko Pops and statues.
I think we talked about that with some of the other retailers at the con. They were like, they think they're just going to end up doing like statues and toys and stuff.
So we talked a little bit about last week, but Diamond got their servers were hacked. They said it was ransomware, and we thought, well, maybe there's going to be a delay. Well, there is a delay, way more of a delay because the books didn't come last week, and then they've already sent another email giving themselves until next Friday to get last week and this week's books out to us. And it sucks because just from a business standpoint, because we can't sell it, we're out that. But our people, they just want their books, and they really don't care about all the problems. They, all these shops around us, and there's no rhyme and reason to who got their books and who didn't. I know that all the big stores did around here, but Nick Comic Culture was telling us that his buddy that runs a big shop in Huntsville, Alabama, didn't.
The Big Herm?
No, it's Robbie.
Robbie.
Yeah, I think his name's Robbie. Pretty sure.
Yeah, Robbie. That sounds right.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the.
Got the big YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
So they didn't get theirs, and so he does like a review every week and stuff like that. Diamond Comic buys these. Of course they did. Why don't you buy some firewall and
buy some.
They're getting into the comic grading business.
Ooh.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something about that. That's a waste of time too.
Especially if they're doing it.
Think how long it takes to get something from CGC, right?
So they're just going to mess it up.
Now Diamond, who can't even it's like Diamond does one thing. They distribute stuff. It's not like they sometimes, tear down cars. They don't sometimes provide Uber services.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they distribute stuff. They primarily distribute comic books, and they can't do that. I'm gonna tell you something, man. If my clients hired me to put out a video, and I called them up and said, I can't get you your video, I'm gonna lose that account.
Yeah,
no matter what. And if they don't give, they're gonna go. They're gonna go
because somebody.
And
else
I'm gonna be honest,
it.
that has happened to me. I lost my business. I lost all of my business when my old company shut down pre-COVID, and I was like, hey, I can't finish these jobs. All my staff is gone. And my client said, okay. They understood that I got left holding the bag.
Yeah.
But you know what? I lost the accounts.
Yeah.
And that was on me, because ultimately they paid me to do a job that I didn't deliver on.
Right.
And it's a hard thing to swallow. I get it. I know they're probably.
That's a difference too, because you care. They don't. We don't even have a rep that we can call. We have to call customer service, and they don't even listen. They just give us
whatever's on the cheat sheet to
whatever
spit back at you.
Yeah, to deal with escalations. And
let me pass this up the ladder to who's the guy that's running this place now?
Yeah,
they don't know.
Yeah, it's like they're playing both sides against the middle. But what is that? 40.
That's how long we've been talking.
So here's the thing. We got and I said this a while ago, but just when I was a contractor for healthcare companies to help them get licensed and help them be compliant, I had to write policies and procedures where we had contingency plans. We had levels of security like a SOC 2 to protect customers' privacy, HIPAA, and we had to hold those standards. But we also had to write, if we had what would happen if we had a tornado or if we were hacked or something like that. How are these people going to get their care, their supplies that are life sustaining? What's your backup plan? What's your contingency? And the more that Diamond does, and the more that I see, they didn't have any contingency whatsoever if something like this happens. If it even happened, like you said earlier, it could be a labor thing. But why wouldn't you just say that? It's so if they got hacked, and if there's a holiday, we get delayed books about half the time. So if something like this happens, they had nothing, and it sucks.
That's another thing I don't understand too. They know it's not like those holidays are surprises. They're on a calendar forever.
Yeah, they send us calendars with those things on them.
Why would they not adjust? And maybe they're at the mercy of UPS. I don't know, but
well, that's fine. You make arrangements to work
However,
around that.
Lunar's
They make
books
FOC
are
dates
here.
different for that reason.
Lunar's books came a week ahead of time.
Yeah.
Whole week, a whole 7 days ahead of release date.
Yeah.
Penguins actually show up early.
Yeah, they show up not a whole week. But
Actually, I got them on a Friday before.
Yeah.
You know, they're getting it. They're getting them here. Why are they doing? And they didn't. I mean, Penguins
Because
actually,
they're better at what they do.
absolutely,
And they got better at what
Penguins,
they got
Penguins
better.
do the comic book, the floppies,
They got better at Diamond's game in a real short amount of time.
in 6 weeks.
Yeah. And so, I mean, Diamond, you suck, and you don't even want to do better.
Okay, you can beat this to death. I was going to say something else about this, but I can't remember.
Well, I'm mad because some of the people that watch this are our customers, and they have been waiting for their books. And thank you for being patient. We can't help it, but there's places they can go up the road to pick these things up, and then we're sitting here holding these books that we've already bought that nobody's going to buy.
Yeah,
because they've already got them.
and Diamond knows that.
Yeah.
So
We're not getting
either they
breaks.
don't care or they're incompetent.
They don't care, and they're incompetent.
That's pretty bad.
It's both things.
You had made a comment though about if it was a personnel problem, why wouldn't they just say that? I worked for a swimming pool company many moons ago,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, I had a general manager who was an alcoholic and just spent more time in his office updating his laptop every 5 minutes than actually doing his job. However, he always had an excuse that I needed to tell the customers about why we hadn't done something.
Right.
So I have to say, and that all came down to his just ego. He just didn't want to look stupid, and I think if anything, that's what it comes down to. If that's the reason. Now, the truth is they may have got hacked. Then you consider and say, well, you're a shipping and logistics company. It's like, why is your information not, you got ransomed. How much of our information, our banking information, got hacked? That's the next question.
Now, yeah, I thought
Which I
about
don't think
that.
anybody's even asking.
Well, I mean, it's
Are they?
just something I've been quietly, hoping. Yeah, but they haven't, and it's true to form for them, but they haven't told us about anything like that being a problem. But that doesn't mean anything.
We'll get that email Monday.
Yeah, after the check's clear.
I just don't know. We had a seamless transition with Marvel when it went from.
Yeah,
We were
Penguin.
way ahead of that game.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the case with IDW? Is that going to be the case with if Image decides to leave, or is it just going to be like, hey, we're not doing this anymore?
Yeah.
And then we got to figure it out.
Yeah, I hope they do.
And here's
I
the
would
thing,
like
though.
to
A lot of
buy
these
from two
customers that
people
come in here
instead
buy
of
these
three.
independent books. They're not buying Marvel and DC.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's true. It's like the people that came to get their books, like a guy today, and I was like, you didn't have any indies. He's just like, no, I'm just pretty much Marvel.
That's good.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so that's good. So,
And I get too a lot.
Mhm.
There's a lot of printers out there, publishers out there that are having printing issues, and they can't get paper. And they can't get the paper. They can't print the books. They can't get the books. They can't get them to. I get all that. That's a reality of the world we're living in, and maybe that's what it is. But I do think here's the thing: being in a customer service business, all right. We're in a customer service business with a store. I'm in a customer service business with CTR. The biggest thing you have to do is just communicate. This is what I learned back when I was cleaning pools was customers know stuff is going to happen.
mm-hmm.
Your pool's going to break down because you're running water along with electricity, and there's elements, there's wildlife, there's a kid poops in the pool, whatever the case may be, something's going to happen.
Yep.
It's inevitable. What they care about is how you respond.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where our frustrations lie. And I think that's what needs to be clearly stated is we are frustrated because, one, we don't even have anybody we can call and complain to that would care. That's what it seems like. Two, the communications we're getting are basically it seems like somebody is just giving us a BS answer to a problem that is something that's out of everybody's control. Instead of saying
we're doing the best we can.
which is what it doesn't seem like.
There's no apologies. It's
there's
just,
no.
hey,
Like I said,
this is what's happened.
So again, the problem here lies in your response time. That's what I'm seeing. Is your response, is your initiative, or sorry, your, like you said, what is your contingency plan? What is your response plan to this? There's just never they're just not there. I think it's just so long they've had the monopoly. Just said, well, sorry, sorry guys, we can't. You'll get them when you get them.
Yeah,
because where else are you going to get them? And it's true with a lot of these books. We can't get them.
we
from
have
a different
to
source.
use them.
And the truth is, if Lunar was to break down, we couldn't get DC books anywhere else. But Lunar has been great. Even Outer Limits over there said, man, we love Lunar.
Yeah.
And I do love Lunar. They're great. They're easy. And their website's not complicated.
No.
You can find their books. They provide you the covers. They provide you, CSV files. They provide you with everything.
And you can return.
You can do
them.
FOC
they do
and
returns.
you can return them.
Yeah, if they don't sell.
And we had a issue with our discount rate when we first started. We're like, what's the deal with this? And they said, well, comes from DC specifically.
Yeah.
You hit another tier level in your sales, which we have.
Mm-hmm.
And going forward, we should have a better discount rate. So it's like, at least they told us these things. When we've asked questions, they've responded. Now, we don't have a rep there specifically, but they have a customer service line, and that customer service line does respond.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're
good. And when I was doing FOCs today, because, prior to this, we were having conversations on this podcast about, hey, there's printing issues. Diamond says that they're moving this release date to, forward 2 weeks or something like that. And when I was doing FOC tonight, I saw that there's some books that are definitely on League of Comic Geeks, some DC titles that are not going to be on the dates that they're listed on League of Comic Geeks are going to be delayed. So
I'm sure they're feeling the sting of those printer issues too.
Yeah. So it's we had problems and things that are beyond your control are one thing, but yeah, like you say, the communication, and if there wasn't something all the time with Diamond, that's the other part of it. So
well, and fortunately for us, we haven't built our business around having new wall books.
Yeah.
And now it is a core part of our business, but fortunately for us, when those books aren't selling, Funko Pops are selling, or back issues are selling. Now we've got some Pokemons that kind of get us through the tough times, hopefully.
Yeah.
And I think us trying to, and this is what I said to you the other day, we need a Kobayashi Maru. You remember this? You're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
Do you remember what the Kobayashi? We need to change the conditions of the test.
Oh yeah.
We need to change the conditions of how this industry is done. That's what I want to look for.
Mm-hmm.
Is it talking to the little tykes and getting those guys in there early on with finger painting and exposed to the characters without destroying the building, or really working with some of these young kids that come in here and that are excited. Hopefully that expands.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
a
trickle effect.
Yeah, there's things that we can do.
I do think the industry itself,
to hybrid this thing.
I do think the industry itself needs to help on that with content to a degree.
Yeah, yeah, and we talked about it before. We're kind of at the mercy of the quality of the content that we don't have any control over. So if books just aren't any good anymore, people just aren't going to be buying them. So, but
and again,
we just want to get
you're
them
fighting those technologies. You're fighting things way outside of your control, and if they're even interested in it, I go back to my conversation about, will Marvel movies have the same impact that they had 10 years ago?
No,
I don't think they will.
No,
I just don't. I think people loved Marvel because they loved Chris Evans, they loved Robert Downey Jr. Not so much Captain America and Iron Man.
Yeah,
and
they have to get away from just niche movies are really going to be non-existent, but the writing suffers to the action because they have to appeal to a global audience, and the global audience is different than America because they're not as story oriented. They like the crashes and the explosions, and the writing that is there has to be broad. So you kind of feel like you're getting this generic thing that's just not very good. And I felt that about Shang-Chi aside, I felt that about everything Marvel that I've watched probably the past 10, even the shows on Disney Plus. They're just like they're not all that great to me. They're just not like, wow, that is amazing. And there's people that are making amazing things and amazing content, but it's just not in those areas. I
do think with that first phase, 3 phases of Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the first 3 phases. They, especially at the end there, they did a good job of tying it all together.
They did a great job of tying it all together. They had a lot of characters. Just like Eternals, I haven't seen it yet, but we've talked about it. It's like it's probably not going to be good because there's too many people.
I remember going to the cons and like older people being mad because there was all these young kids coming in there. All of a sudden, they're Marvel fans. I wouldn't say comics, Marvel fans. And then or
you talking about the old comic guys?
Yeah. Or people who have been doing it because you got to think for a long time, this world was reserved specifically for the losers, the geeks, the nerds, the outcasts.
Mm-hmm.
The people. We were sitting outside the box, and then all of a sudden, we call them the Bamas down at Dragon Con, but like all the jocks and the frat boys, and all of a sudden everybody was into Marvel, and everybody was cosplaying Marvel or Harley Quinn or whatever the case may be. So there was a little animosity towards that because it felt like they were taking something away from them. This was our world. You stay in your world.
Right, yeah.
And a lot of that got kind of, eventually that all went away. People go, look, it's cool that everybody's excited about these things because now we get more of it.
It's great for people like us.
And it's like, the Star Wars stuff that's coming out, it's not the Star Wars I grew up watching. It's not even the same ocean in a lot of ways. And now it looks like they're going to retcon it with this new Obi-Wan stuff, but who knows?
I hope that image of them fighting is just a Force stream or something.
Yeah, but my thing is I think that, it's good that I get to see. Like, I loved watching Bad Batch. I loved watching Star Wars. I love Mandalorian. I love because it's like I get to live in that universe just a little bit longer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated that we lost all those expanded universe books. There's some good stories in some of those.
But the comics are good right now. The
Star
Wars comics are good.
Actually, there's some more. That's about the biggest thing I pull from Marvel.
They're giving us
except for High Republic.
They're giving us I don't like it either. But they're giving us some stories there between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It's so good.
So I'm trying to get caught up on that. I'm wondering what that does to Shadows of the Empire, which I loved. One of my favorites. Had a lot of good characters.
It's gone.
It's gone. It's all gone.
Yeah, all that Dark Horse stuff is nope. All that Timothy Zahn stuff is
Some of the characters have endured.
Yeah, gave us Thrawn, right?
Thrawn, he came back through Rebels. Now he's going to be in the Ahsoka show.
Yeah. Thrawn. It's going to be good. We're excited about that. But, yeah, the content is watered down. And, if you're just a real story guy and you like the writing, you're not going to get that in a big action movie.
Well, I'll say this about Black Widow. That came out. That thing that
was COVID, yeah.
Well, partly. The other part is it didn't have good villains. I don't think in these kind of movies, there's 2 things I think need to happen. One, you need to clearly establish the antagonist
and their motives,
and it really helps set up what is it the protagonist is trying to accomplish.
Yeah,
I think with Wonder Woman 84 that was a gigantic problem, and I don't think anybody cared what she was trying to do. The audiences just didn't relate to it. It's like nobody cares. I get what you're wanting to do, but I'm not invested. I'm not invested enough. There was too many villains.
And
I think they were and they should have focused on one and really focused on. They should have done the whole Cheetah story and left that Maxwell Lord stuff. That was all bad. The same thing with Black Widow was that the villains were bad, and it's like you knew. Also, what sucks is you knew what happens. Know what happens to Black Widow.
Yeah.
And so you're a little less
her
invested.
fate is sealed, yeah, and
you're just not like this is going to work. So
Black Widow just had like when the laws of physics are just completely ignored. That's what got me with Black Widow, with them that spaceship falling and them fighting on the side of it and stuff like that. Other than what you said, because I agree with you about the villain, but like the best villains for me, man, and I've said this to you before, is just like the best villains are sincere in their belief in what they're doing, even though it's evil. They're sincere in there. Their motive is completely sincere, and they're doing what they think is right.
I do think there is. Matt, I'd love to get your opinion on this too, because I know you're thinking back there, your wheels. I can hear your wheels turning from here.
Chink.
My thing is like
Vulture. That's all I'm gonna say. Vulture.
You didn't like Vulture?
No.
Really?
Absolutely. No. I loved Vulture.
Oh, you did?
I think the only reason we all love Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but that movie works because of Vulture.
Well, I do agree. I think Michael Keaton did a great, and his motives, like you said, were very simplistic.
Mm-hmm.
However, he was going to do whatever. That made him a good comic book villain.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got to be clear about what I'm saying here. Comic book villain.
Yeah, but he wasn't evil for the sake of being evil.
No.
Yeah,
and
that's
truthfully,
what you get.
Thanos wasn't like that either.
No.
He did take pleasure in being destructive.
Yes.
However, but his goal was very, very clearly stated. And he said why. And from his point of view, he was acting in the best interests of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
However, that was a little lunatic. He was a lunatic, so I was like, for the masses. So that all made sense. But I do agree. Vulture was one of those. The other one was Heath Ledger's Joker. The Dark Knight was good, the best of those movies because of Heath Ledger, not because of Christian Bale. I think we can all agree on that. He was
absolutely,
because he won the Oscar for that, and he was fantastic. He wasn't even the Joker from the comic books, but he made it his own and was just really good. But he was a clear antagonist for Batman, and it worked. I think that's really important. The other thing is, this is where I was wanting to chime in,
but
Matt.
the Joker is a villain that just likes to watch the world burn.
Well, but
yeah.
But you also got to understand, they established that through dialogue, through Alfred's dialogue, and to the audience, because Batman's trying to. There's a little meta stuff going on here, but it's like it really did work in the fact that he is trying to figure out what's his motive, and finally Alfred says he doesn't have a motive, and that's. Oh, now you're really invested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, what the hell is this guy going to do now?
Yeah, because the crazy people with nothing to lose are the most dangerous ones.
Now, the other thing I want to talk about, too, is I think this is something that gets lost in when they try to do a comic book movie. And I'm saying comic book movie here.
Okay. You're deliberate with comic
There
book
is
movie.
something called the suspension of disbelief. Is that right? Is that how it is, Matt? Suspension of disbelief.
Correct.
And when you jump into a Star Wars movie, you're immediately in a universe with flying spaceships and people that can move things with their mind and whatever. And that's not crazy to you. All right. But you take that same conversation, the same features of and put it into a 1930s detective movie, and you're going to be, what? Right. You're thrown out of it. Or if you put it into the friend's coffee shop, that doesn't work. You know what I mean? And I think when you try to take something that is inherently, nebulous and fantastical, it's like, and try to make it more realistic because people want it to be realistic, it just doesn't work. And I think in a lot of ways, and Matt and you and I talked about this the other day, I think that's what happened to Star Trek. They lost some of the things that just made it.
You talk about the movies?
I'm talking about the new TV shows.
The Discovery?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there was some things where the original Star Trek was crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The acting is terrible. The special effects are terrible. However, the stories are classic. The stories are really good if you get past all the other stuff. But you got to get past most people can't. However, it's those crazy things about Star Trek that make it a fandom. And people love it for that.
Yeah.
And I think when you try to get something so realistic, real to life, or whatever the case may be, something is lost because you do have to suspend belief at some point. It's like or suspend that disbelief. It's like because people when you jump into Harry Potter's world, it's like it's a magic world.
Yeah,
you don't ever question it.
Yeah, you know what you're there for,
and you just kind of roll with it. And I think some of that stuff gets lost when you're trying to I think it's another thing I think happened to Wonder Woman 84. I think they just tried to.
Well,
They tried to bring Steve Trevor back in a way that just was like, what?
That was it
just didn't make sense.
Yeah, it was bad.
They should have just never brought him, because I think what made Wonder Woman's character interesting just in Batman versus Superman was she had lost him. She'd already lost him, and that was sort of her motivation as a character, and that made her more interesting as a character. I think which teed up her having a really good solo film. But I think they lost all that when they did 84.
Yeah, 84.
They tried to bring out the gold wings. Why, I don't know.
Because they just got to shoehorn that stuff in there because they have to balance fan service with all this other things they're trying to do.
I didn't hate the idea of them. That's how she figured out she could fly, because she can fly in the comics. The invisible jet thing. Oh. I don't know about that.
Again, it's something they just
shoehorned.
Just pile in there and.
But I didn't like Suicide Squad, the most recent Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was ridiculous.
Well, with these movies, I
thought there was too much killing.
I do know
Senseless
that you have to turn a part of your brain. I mean, you just have to do that. And I'm not like Fun Police, so everything has to be exactly like. But I just thought Black Widow was just like, man, come on. These people aren't superheroes. Like, she doesn't have special abilities. And so she's like, it just loses me when you get into there's different forces of gravity for you and for what's happening around you and stuff like that. So
you got lost in that whole thing?
Well, I didn't get lost. It just kind of just like it's hard for me to turn that part of my brain off when I'm watching stuff like that.
So I watched this movie, I think it's on Paramount Plus, called Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen this?
Plus. I haven't.
It's got Mark Wahlberg in it.
Okay.
I think the villain, I think it's Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Who?
He was Carl Mordo in Doctor Strange.
What's his name?
Chiwetel Ejiofor. He was.
Oh, pull him up.
Carl
Carl
Mordo. You'll know what I'm talking about. Literally gonna bring up nothing but Benedict Cumberbatch in that respect. Come on, guys. That guy. There you go.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
What about him?
He was in the movie.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, I'm just saying it was who was in it. You were like, who?
No, okay, go on.
Okay,
yeah.
Anyway, the whole movie was about this people, the main characters in this. We got it. You don't have to go that far, Nick. The main characters in this were.
It's a nice complexion.
They would reincarnate, but they remembered all their past lives. At a certain point in their youth, mostly, they would remember their past lives and all the abilities that they had collected through time.
Okay.
Thought it was a neat concept.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Except Mark Wahlberg's character, when he reincarnated, his whatever just never clicked until later in adulthood. So like people had to go find him, which is very similar to that Ordinary Gods and a little bit other than as far as how they're activated. Anyway, I really like the idea of the movie, and I just did. There was just so much of it that was just like it just felt cramped. Like it should have been like this big TV show or something. I don't know. It just was very rushed. And the reason I bring this up is because at the very end of it, it has this. What Mark Wahlberg's character can do is that he can manipulate physics.
Uh-huh.
And at the very end of this movie, he and Chiwetel Ejiofor, I think that's how you say his name, they get into a fist fight on top of a jetliner, a jet plane, a plane at like high speeds. And like, so
G's. Basically
wind, velocity,
G
gravity, G-forces, none of that was in play, and they had this. Now it was really cool. It was probably one of the best fight scenes I've ever seen. But the most part, it was like, it's like, what is going on here?
So yeah,
it
right,
just kind of ended. After all this guy
was
was building up to it, it just kind of ended. It was like,
I've been in an airplane where my ex-brother-in-law used to be a pilot, and he would do this trick where he would just drop, and you'd be like, and like your drink would be floating in the air, and
Oh, really?
yeah, and then you'd level out, and so you're like
I had
all
the
these
drink not
G's.
get all over you.
It did.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, because he's like, hold on, and then he'd do that, and he'd be like, and you can't even move, and like, yeah, like I remember having a drink and it was suspended, and I couldn't like even move my head, and then he leveled it back out, and then the drink just went everywhere, and so yeah, when you're falling like that, you can't move. I mean, you're just like when you get that
So
speed.
it just didn't work.
Yeah, that's so when you see stuff like that, it's like there's no way,
Well, again, this goes back to this suspension of disbelief kind of a thing.
Oh, I know.
If it's done right,
that's not lost.
If it's done right, you just go along with it.
Right.
And I think this is true, especially like in space movies, where ships like in Star Trek. There's times when the Enterprise does things that it shouldn't do in outer space, just because of
If Superman was on the side of that thing that was falling in at the end of whatever the headquarters in the sky for the antagonist, if Superman was on there, he's not going to have trouble running across the side of the building and throwing a punch at somebody.
I've never understood that.
But like Black Widow,
she did that in that movie.
Yeah. So they're fighting on.
Let's just say it's probably not impossible, but highly unlikely. Unlikely.
I mean, I can go along with that.
But you just didn't roll with it, huh?
Yeah, it was just. I mean, it was a choppy movie, and like as far as Black Widow goes, but just that kind of stuff, it loses me a little bit because it's really hard for me to turn off that part of my brain. So, but like you say, when it's done well, it's good. Shang-Chi, that's some crazy stuff in that movie, but it was done well.
There was like magic and mysticism in that from the beginning.
Like when he started, that bus scene, as soon as that happened, man, you were on board.
Well,
you were here for it.
You got to think it introduced it in a way that in a lot of ways you knew it was coming because it's a action movie. However, the way it was introduced in the film,
Awkwafina was like,
and that's how we kind of all were like, "Whoa,
who are you?
What are you doing?
What is this?"
And then what that does is gives that incident to kind of go into the whole backstory of how he got to that point.
And it had a good villain.
Sincere
in his beliefs. Yeah, and his motives that were evil. He thought he was doing the right thing.
All right, Nick, you got to kind of explain why you brought this up now, boy. I probably know where your head's going with this.
I just think that this is Big Trouble in Little China is a wonderful example of kind of bringing you into a fantasy world where literally people are flying through the air with swords, and by the end of the movie, you don't question it because it's been established, and you have Kurt Russell's character to kind of be your Awkwafina in a sense and let you know what's going on.
I agree. Good call. I mean, this is one of my. You can shut down there, Nick. This is one of my. I actually love this movie. And I love that Nick loves this movie. Yes. It's like one of his favorite movies. But he's right. In the very opening scene of this, it's Egg Shan is talking to this attorney. Mm-hmm. And it's basically this conversation takes place after the entire movie's over. But it sets up for the movie. It's like, hey, you guys just destroyed a whole city block. This guy's in trouble. Where's this dude at? Well, he's going to be arrested. And, whole blah, blah, blah. And eventually at the very end of it, he just holds his hands up and that electricity goes through. You're like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
And you're like, and it's kind of like, exactly. Okay, now I'm intrigued.
You're right.
And then it goes into just what seems like a buddy movie where one of them's girlfriend gets kidnapped. But then the further you go down the rabbit hole, like magic and sorcery, all this stuff pops up and it's like, this is crazy. But what Nick's saying is Jack Burton, the main character, is the character in the story that kind of like sort of that we go along with, like, what is going on in here?
Yeah.
And just rolls with it, and then eventually by the end of it, he's accepted. He's gotten used to it, which we all have. And I think they do it. Yeah, that thing's awesome. I think they do a good job with like kind of getting us into that little universe and then rolling. And this thing's had this movie itself has had comic books and some extended stories around it. It's a John Carpenter movie.
The remake, I did know that.
Yeah. Remake. They don't need to remake this movie.
Yeah, there's a rock.
What?
Need some, give us some no context Mark Ruffalo. So, So what else is going on?
Oh man, I've got a big week ahead as far as work and
we're gonna get this video uploaded tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, we're closed tomorrow, so I won't have to worry about it.
Yeah. We going to the gym tomorrow?
Yes.
Gym time. There he is. Yep. So, yeah. Well, we're going to go to the gym. I think we probably need to work on do a little treadmill and get some big arms.
Before we go out, we had a couple things in here. Got some new Star Wars concept figures in.
Those are neat.
This one's a snow trooper.
Yeah.
This one's a stormtrooper, but they don't really look that much different. They actually have an exclusive stormtrooper from Funko Shop that has a shield and the Funko sticker, so it's not much different, but there's another one.
They were the first mind iteration of that character with George Lucas. Is that right?
I'm excited about this pop. I know it's a pop with a purpose, which means it's with this Rivet organization, which I didn't really read it. Truthfully, I just thought it was cool because it was Yara Flor, and I'm kind of a big Yara Flor fan at this point.
Yeah, nobody cares.
I like Yara Flor.
Well,
Nick at Night likes Yara Flor. Well, you need to read it because she's actually pretty cool. We got some stuff in from our friends over at Van Ryder Games.
We sure did.
And they do a couple things. One, they do make board games, and they're local here to Spring Hill, and we have been, we're good friends. They come over here and drop off stuff. We've got a lot of their board games.
They have really neat games.
We sell a lot more of their graphic novels than they do their.
We sure do.
They have these graphic novel adventures, which the artwork in them is top notch. Probably some of the best artwork I've seen in just about any of our books. And again, they're choose your own adventures, and they're all kinds of different stories. Like this one's sort of a Western, choose your own adventure.
Yeah, you build your own town with that one.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then there's a couple of these Pirates books. This one's called Pirates: The Cursed Isle. There's a couple of other ones that are in this genre.
We had choose your own adventure.
Yeah, but ours were kind of goofy.
These actually look
really neat. Like you can kind of, it's like interactive gaming stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This one I'm not crazy about actually being on the floor because
it's a little older. Yeah.
Well, it's not so much that. It's just the artwork is great, but it's literally a dude handing you a gun and saying, hold up. So it's about
here's your choices, buddy.
Yeah, it's definitely
You're going to be a criminal?
Criminal or, there's some pretty provocative stuff in here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but.
Top-notch art, though.
However, they do some.
Check it out.
This is a really cool game here. Well, let's start with this one. This is Popcorn Dice. This is one of their newer games. It's with it's a single player game, or you can go. Actually, it's 2 to 6.
One for the kiddies.
One for the kiddies, or you can do it with a family. It's a lot of fun.
If you like your family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got a lot of these. It's about a 10 to 15 minute game, ages 7 and up. It's really, really popular around here. This one,
a lot of fun stuff.
Hostage Negotiator. It's a 1-player game. It's a 15 to 30 minute game, but it's for 15 and up. However, one reason I bring this one up, and I'm glad we showed this one, is we had a couple of these that they gave us, or they sold us, but they actually had to come back and buy them back from us because they're so popular internationally that they didn't have enough to fulfill orders, or they were short because they're not getting them back from the printers in time. So we had a couple of copies here. So this might actually be the last copy of Hostage Negotiator worldwide for sale. Still in the package.
It definitely is in Spring Hill.
Definitely is in Spring Hill for sure. So, but we also have a ton of these books. They've got board games over here. We've got Detective. There's a couple. Which is a really cool, multiplayer game.
Yeah, dude, it's
really awesome.
As big as like if you play Grand Theft Auto, like the world is there. That's what that is on a board game.
It is on a board game, and it's got like 14
expansions,
15 cases that come with that game.
And then you can get the
expansion packs, the case expansion packs to continue it. And I think there's actually some other versions of Detective, some smaller versions. That one's really cool. They just did what was the train one? Lost my train of thought.
Yeah. There's a bank robber one.
So Saloon Tycoon. The Western one. Yeah, that one just came in, and I think that's a new one.
Yeah.
And it's pretty.
So y'all check those out. And there's YouTube videos on them, and they're So if you need to look them up
through Cadets Toys.
Yep, and you can get like demonstrations of those games on YouTube.
Yep, good stuff. And we have a board game night here usually once a month. We need to have one soon. People can.
We sure do, yeah.
But we want to give a big shout out to our friends over at Van Ryder Games. They're again local here to Spring Hill.
They're geniuses too.
They work with great artists. They make great games, and they're pretty cool people.
And the Joe Hill Collected Edition. I've done a lot of bragging on Joe Hill stuff, but the Hill House collection, all of the books. Basket Full of Heads, Lolo Woods, The Dollhouse Family, Daphne Byrne.
And you get the
Plunge. And
Sea Dog.
Sea Dogs was, there's a story in the back of all the Plunge books for Sea Dogs. So
Yeah.
come get that, man. That's
$99.99.
really something that you're going to love. Great gift idea. So.
Yeah. And we got a Grogu sitting here, which we have a lot of those.
Oh, yeah.
Probably put some of those on sale this Christmas.
Come on, Grogu. Everybody loves Baby Yoda. Don't give up on Baby Yoda.
Oh, Baby Yoda.
Yeah. We got comics. We got, come see us. We got gift cards.
Gift cards.
We got cool stuff. Just come on down. We'd love to see you. And we appreciate you. Thank you for your patience with these comic books. Diamond, you suck. Send us our books. And we're doing the best we can with that. So
I agree, man.
but DC's going to be here this week. Marvel's going to be here. So at least we got that.
DC is here.
Well, DC, it's here. But people are going to get their books as far as DC and Marvel go.
I did read the Robins.
You liked that, didn't you?
I didn't like it. I did. I'm going to see how it goes.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, that's the most awesome. I didn't hate
and
it.
And the big Kal-El book is this week. So
it is.
If anybody's specking that, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Son of Kal-El.
Come and get it.
Yep.
We've got a few.
Got a few. Yeah.
You're still looking for Soul Plumber? We got some of those.
Yes. Don't sleep on that one. That's a great story. I love that. I love that book. All right, Tommy, you got anything else?
Man, I really don't. It's been a long week. I'm tired. I kind of want to crash out early. I think I want to try to get us a guest in here next week.
Let's do it. Yeah, I've got some guests in mind.
Yeah, let's make some phone calls this week so we can get a guest to come in here. Maybe you and I'll back and forth a little bit, and then we'll just turn it over to a guest.
Yep.
Maybe you can interview him or something.
Oh, whatever.
Sounds
we'll
good. Make it work, man.
All right, we'll figure it out. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week. Tommy.
Bye, son.
Bye, son.